I'm Diane Bertalin, and I am the program director for the START program at Haven. We're the forensic nurses of Haven, and we see domestic violence and sexual assault patients. One of the things that people think is that choking and strangulation is the same thing, and it's not. Choking is when you take too big of a bite of a sandwich and it gets lodged in your throat. You cough and eventually you cough it out. But strangulation is totally different. This is when someone puts their hands around the neck of the victim in anger, and the victim can't speak and they can't breathe. It becomes a life-threatening situation. Now, when I say strangulation, most people are going to think, oh, well, someone who strangled dies. But that's not necessarily true. There is something called non-fatal strangulation that occurs often in a domestic violence situation. It takes very little pressure over a very small length of time to kill brain cells in the brain. If you have pressure put on the neck, it is the most vulnerable part of the human body. There are blood vessels that take oxygen up to the brain and a different set that bring it down to the heart to get more oxygen. And there's also the trachea right there in the throat. They're very close to the surface. It only takes 4 pounds of pressure over 15 to 20 seconds before it's going to start to do damage. Now, 4 pounds of pressure is, to put it, to think about it, 6 pounds of pressure is needed to squeeze a trigger of a gun. 21 pounds of pressure is needed to pop the top of a pop can. Not a lot of pressure. And when I'm talking about 15, 20 seconds, that's not a long period of time. When someone is strangled, you would expect to see bruising in the neck, but that also is not true. If I take my hand here and I squeeze as hard as I possibly can, and I do it for about 15 seconds of time, and then I release, you're going to see some redness there, but it's going to go away very quickly. It's going to go away before a police officer could get to you. But understand, you were strangled and you are in danger. So here you can see the red marks from my fingers, but as I talk, you can see that redness go away. So it doesn't take long, and it doesn't take a lot of pressure, and there can be damage done. So what you need to do is protect yourself. Make sure that you don't have any further episodes. Get the medical help that you need. You need to be assessed in an emergency department. Haven will provide forensic examinations for you following a strangulation, but we're not the first medical stop. You really need to go to an emergency department and tell them, I have been strangled, and they will get you the care that you need. Come to us and we'll help document it and give you referrals to a neurologist.